So what we're going to do here over our next few minutes, because AI is so extensive, and honestly, a little bit of this class, I've actually taught this for 2 hours, so I'm trying to truncate this in about 45 minutes and then also give time for Q&A. So I want to just kind of gauge the room where we are and see who's here, because along with this being a presentation of information, we're also going to open up ChatGPT, and I'm actually going to show you all how to use ChatGPT, right? The reason why I picked ChatGPT is that's the one that, everyone's talking about. That's the one that's most popular, the one that first came on the scene. But many of the things that I'm going to share with you today is just the language and how to speak with AI. You can use that with any AI, whether that's what's Genesis, Claude, any of those other ones. Also, I'm going to actually share with you also my 4 favorite AI tools that I like to use for editing video, for transcribing video, all of those things, because this is all centered around content creation, okay? So first, let me just gauge the room. How many people have experimented with ChatGPT? Okay, awesome, I love it, okay. And how many of you are just like, what is this AI thing that I keep hearing? Okay, great, this is safe. You're in a safe place, okay? You're in a safe place, I love it. All right, so before we get started, can we just give a round of applause for Richland Library creating a space to learn this? Everywhere I travel, and I travel a lot, I always brag about this is my favorite place in Richland County. I'm not just saying this because the library folks are here. I mean it. I'm literally the poster child for this place, and I think that we have a jewel and a gem, and so I just want to make sure that we recognize them. So a little bit about me, if you don't know who I am, like, okay, who's this lady? I'm Rashonda Pratt, and I started in the digital space. I'm a former television news producer of 20 years, so I actually worked here in the local market at both WIS and WLTX. And in 2015, there was something that came on the scene called Periscope. Anybody remember Periscope? Which gave us all the capabilities of live streaming on your phone. And I was an early adopter. Within the 30 days that Periscope came on the scene, 1 million people downloaded the app. But 1 million people didn't know what to do with going live. And so I started going live, and I started going live talking to people about what I know, which is TV, storytelling, how to pitch the media. Well, we turned it into a brand called The Rose Show Live. And then I became risky, and I decided to bet on myself. Left my television news job and doubled my TV salary in 6 months. So in the corner there, you see me working there with Darcy Strickland on breaking news. That's me. That really is me on the Today Show, talking to Martha Stewart. That's me in Vegas, doing some live stream hosting. I've been able to work with brands like the Kellogg Foundation, Boeing, and then that's me. Oh, that's me in the library. Yeah, we were doing live streaming there, right there. That was really cool. And then 2 years ago, I had an opportunity to create a course with LinkedIn. So I'm a certified LinkedIn learning instructor. All of this from the power of video, okay? And so what I'm going to share with you today is really some of my communication background and marrying that with technology. So let's get into this. Now, when we think about AI and we think about what's happening, I often hear people say, like, this is new. Like, we're using AI and ChatGPT for the first time, and not realize that you all of us have been using AI for a very long time. This is not anything new. We just didn't know it was artificial intelligence. So if you have Siri on your phone, Alexa at home, a Google Assistant to help you do like daily tasks, like when we put Google in our home, and my middle school son thought it was cool to ask Siri jokes. Not Siri, Alexa jokes, and to also ask Alexa if she passes gas. Typical middle school boy. That is a form of AI, which makes our everyday life convenient, right? If you're on social media, and you're scrolling on social, and you are, especially on TikTok, and you are watching funny cat videos, and then you scroll, and there's another funny cat video, and then there's another funny cat video, and 3 hours later, You are still watching funny cat videos. That is a form of AI, because what it's doing is it's monitoring your use and it's feeding you what you already like. Driving a car, right? If you are in these newer model cars, right? My mom has one of those cars, when you go across the line, it starts to rock. You know, she's an older, seasoned lady. She needs that reminder. She's crossed the line. That is a form of AI. When we go to the airport, and they ask for your passport or your driver's license, and they're taking a picture or doing facial recognition. Again, that is a form of AI. What I want you to see is this is not something new. We've always been engaging in this. If you have Grammarly on your laptop to help you with your grammar and spelling, that is a form of AI. Smart keyboards and search engines, all of these things are forms of AI. So we've always been using it. It's always been a part of our society, but now we get an opportunity to engage with the language of AI in a very different way. So one of the things that I love to teach here that I think is really important for people to understand is I am never this person who is just like, don't use AI, it's terrible, it's going to replace people. No, what you do is you collaborate with AI. So it's your human spark with AI that equals innovation. Because AI cannot be successful without there being a human on the other side of it. Everybody understand that? Because I know there's a lot of concern, there's a lot of worry, is AI going to replace jobs? I really believe that AI will not replace you unless you learn how to use it. And that's with any technology, right? When I think about what happened during the pandemic for my particular industry, the media industry, we had to learn how to use live stream and Zoom. Right? And that was a new technology. So what AI is, this is just a new technology that we have to learn how to combine our human intelligence along with artificial intelligence, right, to spark more innovation and creativity. Because there's a couple of things that we have to understand when it comes to AI, right? AI can analyze, but humans create. So while AI can process data, simulate creativity, it doesn't have the ability to generate true innovation. That's where you come in, right? It can try to mirror it, but you have to drive it, right? Emotional intelligence. AI lacks emotional depth. While it can mimic conversations and respond to emotional cues, it doesn't have the capacity for genuine empathy, emotional understanding, and intuition, right? We still need the human connection. Technology can't replace that, right? Ethics and morality, and this is something that in our company that we're talking more to people about, is understanding that AI follows, humans lead. So AI can execute basic decisions based on program ethics, but it doesn't have a human framework. Here's what I mean by that. We're in a space, if you are playing around with AI, you'll probably notice if you put your picture, especially if you're a person of color, you will see that sometimes if you're trying to say, put a caricature of me as a 3D graphic or image, if I put my picture in there, it doesn't read well black and brown people. Right? And so they'll probably, this has actually happened when I've done AI, it will make me a white woman, which is very interesting. Very interesting, right? So here's the thing that we have to understand. People shy away from AI because of that, and not understanding you have to engage with it and you have to train it. If we wanted to understand morals and beliefs and be able to understand people of color, you have to engage with it and you have to train it to do as such, right? Because we know that with anything that's being programmed by humans, there's still what? There's still biases. Right? There's still prejudices. There's all of those things. So in order to change that, you have to engage with it and not ignore it, right? And even with that, as you all are learning to use AI, especially in your content creation process, you'll start to notice on social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram specifically that they're asking you to disclose to your audience that this content was created with AI. That's a part of being responsible and ethical, right? Because once I open this door for you guys, you're gonna see that there's apps for everything. I mean, if you don't wanna be on camera, Shandia, there's an app that will create a avatar for you that looks very human-like, but it's with your voice, right? And it's all AI technology. But we have a responsibility that if we're going to use technology in that way, AI in that way, we need to tell our audience that this was generated by AI. This is so good, and I meant to get this as an example for you all. Most recently, I was watching the TV this past Saturday with my family, and there is a nonprofit organization that deals with feeding the homeless, but specifically children. And for nonprofits, it's very difficult sometimes to tell their story because we don't want to shame children who may need our services. This company, I didn't get a chance because it just kind of went by really quick. What they did was they used an AI-generated child in a commercial on TV. And during the commercial, they said, this image is AI generated to represent the many children that have to participate in our program. I thought that was genius, but I also thought that's a way that we're being ethical and moral, right? And so if you are in business, many of you may be business owners here, I want you to start thinking about what is your ethics or your morals when it comes to how you're going to use AI and making sure that you're being responsible to disclose that. And then finally, adaptability. AI learns from data. Humans think beyond the data. So humans can adapt to unforeseen challenges, think critically, right? And apply wisdom gained from experience. AI relies on patterns. Humans can break the pattern to innovate and problem solve in ways that go beyond algorithms. So you see how it's not going to take over, right? It only takes over because we have to still be the driving force of it, okay? Make sense? So what we're going to talk about today is ChatGPT. I'm sure everybody's familiar with it by now. So ChatGPT is an artificial intelligent chatbot that uses natural language processing to create human-like conversation and dialogue, okay? ChatGPT was one of the first, and it's taken off, right? And then soon to follow, Microsoft released one, then Google released their own version, and now you're seeing all these versions of using AI. For our training today, we're going to talk about specifically, you have a question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if like the Apple and Google versions of it are just like remodeled versions of ChatGPT.
Well, I will say this, like most things, when you have the first one, everybody else kind of just copies in a sense, right? So I love that you brought up Apple because in its new released phones, it's using a lot of more AI technology. They're upgrading Siri. I didn't even know Siri needed an upgrade, but apparently she's getting an upgrade because again, all of these companies are understanding the use of AI and that it's really not going anywhere, right? And so I use ChatGPT because it was one of the first, but I think it's a great example if you're beginning on how you can engage with all the other platforms that are out there. And really what works best for ChatGPT or any kind of prompt that you are using. So prompt is the language in which you communicate with AI. So it's the directives that you're going to give it so you can get an outcome. A lot of times the reason why people are not successful with AI and using it to get the outcomes that they want is because of the input that they put in. So here's a perfect example. I have 3 kids, 16, 14, and 6. Yeah, I'm in the thick of things, okay? I'm life coaching the older ones, and I'm being parented by the 6-year-old. So when they come in the car, parents know. You pick them up from school, what's the question you ask? How was your day? And you're going to either get, it was okay. And you, on the other hand, are wanting more. Like, did you get an A on that test? Did you get an A on that? Well, it's because of the conversation that you all had. It's the same with AI. If you make it basic, you're going to get a basic answer. But the more detail that you give it, the more richness that you get it, the more that it opens up a world that you're just thinking like, I can't even believe I got all of this gold. So it's really going back to learning, how do I have a conversation right? And some of that goes back to being curious. I think as adults, we've lost our curiosity, and it's going back to being curious of, if I told it to do this, what would I get from that response? So it's digging deep into understanding, what is it that I want from this? What is it that I want, okay? So right now, this is how I'm using ChatGPT to reclaim my time, amplify my impact, influence, and income. So I'm using ChatGPT as a writing assistant. Notice I said I'm not using it to write for me. So I'm using it as a writing assistant. Literally what I've learned in TV. I will write a social media post and then give it a prompt to tell it to rewrite this to be more compelling. Okay? I'm using it as a creative assistant, literally asking it, hey, can you do a video based on this topic to talk to this audience about X, Y, and Z? I'm using it as a content creator. I've had it write video scripts for me. I've had it do research for me. So if I wanted to do research on a particular topic and find out, what are the stats and the data for this? Like, for example, for those of you in business and you want to know more about who your client is, it's a great researcher because it can dig deep, and I'm going to show you how to do that. A marketing advisor, a personal development partner. Literally, you can say, I want to read, 30 books this year. Give me a plan on how I could accomplish that goal. I actually saw someone who travels and was wanted to eliminate jet lag, and so they went into ChatGPT and uploaded their travel itinerary from the U.S. to Australia and said, I want to eliminate jet lag, so give me a plan on my sleep pattern on the plane. And ChatGPT listened to the whole thing, and AI gave this person a plan on, you need to sleep 15 minutes during this block, you need to do this and this block, and this block to eliminate jet lag. Self-awareness advocate, branding. You can help with your branding. So you can even say, listen, these are the colors I'm thinking about, or this is the logo I want to create. What are your thoughts about it, right? And so you can engage within that way. Yes, sir. So one of the things that I do, so if I'm wanting some information about, say, a logo, right, some ideas, and I'm just kind of brainstorming, then I can at least take that idea and share it with my graphic designer on my team and say, this is kind of what I was thinking about. Here's a framework that you can start off with. Because thinking about if you're building a business and you have an idea in your head of the logo, but you're like, how do I communicate that to somebody? At least with this, I have a picture or image or a jumping off point that they can use. Make sense? Okay? So one of the things, I'm not sure if everyone got this, so I'm going to come around, I'm actually going to pass them around, is we actually have 10 prompts that you can use to create content. Did everybody get those? Okay, all right, hold on one second. Okay, so you're getting a prompt, and one of the things that I would say, if you're using AI, again, ChatGPT, there's a free version, and then there's like a paid monthly version for $20. Let me tell you something. I had a choice to pick between $20 for ChatGPT and $20 to get verified on Meta. Everybody know about that? You can pay $20 to get verified on Meta, Facebook, and that way if your account gets hacked, you'll have access to customer service. I picked the $20 and invested in ChatGPT, right? So what you're getting on this document is the very first prompt that I would say you need to use when you are starting off with ChatGPT or any AI. And it's having it analyze your style, your voice, and tone when it comes to your content. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this first prompt is a game changer, okay? And the reason why you want to do this is because you want to start to train chat, because you could turn on or off the memory feature. I have the memory feature because I only use it for myself. I don't use it for other clients. But when you have the memory feature, now whenever you write on ChatGPT, it remembers your style, your voice, and your tone. forever sounds like you. So what you will do is, let me share my screen. Okay. So this is my ChatGPT. You can see I use it a lot, okay? So you would go here. You could either, that up there is where you would start a new chat right there. So you'd log into ChatGPT. You would give it your email and sign up with a passcode. Once you get there, you get this blank screen, okay? And this is where it's saving all of the prompts and engagement that you had. But you'll go right here to message. And you will type in, analyze the following text for style, voice, and tone. And then you will take an email that you sent. Maybe you've created or wrote content on Facebook or social media, Instagram. Maybe it's just an email you sent with someone else, but you wanted to start to analyze your tone. And you will copy and paste it in there, and it will tell you, this is your style, this is your tone. And then you will tell it, remember that every time we engage. So now, anytime you want to write an email to someone, anytime you want to write an email to somebody else, it's now remembering your style, your voice, and your tone. Now, am I saying you're going to just copy and paste that and plop it on something? No, I still want you to read it, right? Because it's not perfect, everyone. It's technology. We know there can be some glitches, but you can still read it. And I'm telling you, I did this. And I actually I was teaching a class and I had my students look at it, and it said stuff like, what's up, peeps? And people who know me say stuff like that. Like, they're just like, oh my gosh, you had like your mannerisms and your style, right? Because what it's doing, and the more you engage with it, the more it will tell you stuff about yourself. It's amazing, okay? So, very first prompt that I would have you do is train it to understand your style, your voice, and your tone, right? The other thing, and then there's a bunch of other prompts here that you can use for proofreading, define your audience problems, those kinds of things, right? But you always want to assign it an identity, right? So that way you can get the best use out of what it gives, okay? So we're going to do this in real time. I already told Shandi I was going to pick on her, right? I already told her ahead of time. I know her, so I can pick on her a little bit here. So, Shandia, tell people a little bit about your business and who you are, so we can do this in real time.
So, hey guys, my name is Shandia Stroman. I am actually a real estate agent here in South Carolina. So, been selling real estate for about 8 years. And I am here because I would love to figure out how to use AI to communicate with my clients, further my business, and I have a really straightforward homegirl type of style. So learn AI knowing and how I communicate is very interesting to me because I know I communicate kind of differently.
Yeah, straight and to the point, straight shooter.
So,
Yes.
So that's kind of what I do.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use Shandia as a example. So you want to get more information let's pretend you want to be looked at as a resource, okay, for those who are moving to Columbia. So what is the number one question you get asked all the time for people who are moving to Columbia looking for real estate? What's the number one question you get?
What's the best areas to live in?
What's the best areas to live in? Okay, so let's just play and see what chat says to us, okay? And then Shandia is going to verify if some of this is true, okay? So what I did here is I start off the prompt with act as a real estate agent in Columbia, South Carolina, okay? Act as a real estate agent in Columbia, South Carolina. Can you still hear me, Joe? I'm just trying to make sure. Okay, act as a real estate agent in Columbia, South Carolina, and tell me the best places. What's the question? To live. Okay, we'll start there. Let's see what happens. Okay? We hit the little green, it's populating. And then it gives you a description. Okay? Look at the Northeast. Don't come there, we got too much traffic. Okay, so, hold on one second. I see your hand. So we have Forest Acres, Shandon, Lake Murray, downtown The Vista, Northeast Columbia, Rosewood, Lexington, Irmo. And let me see what else. Let me point down the arrow here. Okay, each neighborhood has its own perks, and then it gives you a description. All right, Shondia, is this what is happening? That's very, very good, right? Okay, I'm going to step it a step further because I know we had a conversation, so I'm going to see if it says this. So let's go. Where is the next boom in real estate in South Carolina? Is that safe to ask? Okay. Where is the next? Now, I already know this because I talked to my friend and she told me what the answer is. Real estate boom in South Carolina. Okay. Greenville and Spartanburg, is that true? Yeah. But you also told me Fairfield County. Fairfield.
You can make it specific to like Columbia and surrounding areas, it may narrow down.
Okay, let's try that. Blythewood, Elgin, Lake Carolina, Wood Creek Farms, really? West Columbia and Casey? You just said what? They have nothing left in Wood Creek Farms? Riverwalk? Mm-hmm. Let's see what else.
I think it's still keeping it in Columbia. You might have to say like counties.
Okay. What counties in South Carolina? Okay. I love how y'all thinking about this. I love it. Okay. I'm going to come to that. What about counties? Let me just put it like that. And let's see. Greenville, we know. Charleston, expensive. Richland, Let's see. Lexington. There is some stuff happening in Conway. Yeah. Yeah, Spartanburg. York. Beaufort. Yes. Berkeley, yeah. So what Anderson, okay, really? All right. So what I'm saying with this is, it's giving you some ideas, right? And again, the more you dig deep in this, the more you can say, okay, if you go back to, just give an example, to our first prompt where we were just like, okay, where, tell me the best places to live, right? You can then take this information, and instead of Shondia always telling her clients that every single time, she now can turn this into a graphic with her information on the back, and now it's a flyer. And now people have this information, or it's the information that you put on your website that you update, periodically, So those are some things that you can do with ChatGPT. So you had a question? So a lot of this it's getting it from the internet. So it's the last, I think, 20 years that it goes back and does this research. Now, here's another one, along with ChatGPT. So you guys saw that, how we did that? So we're engaging and asking questions. Here's another one that you can do that's research-based. So this one is perplexity.ai. Anybody ever heard of that one? I love this one, perplexity.ai. What I love about this is specifically research-based, and then you use this one, and it actually tells you where it's getting the information from, okay? So let's use another example. Lauren, calling you out, right? All right, tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
So I am the social media strategist here at Richland Library.
We love the social media. Okay.
I'm in charge of promoting events and locations, all 13 locations. So we have one, social media outlet for all of our locations.
So let's give it a question. What would you want to know?
I would want to know
Okay, let's see what it comes up with. So what you see here is giving you an answer, right? But then it's also telling you the sources where those answers came from. So you have these outdoor activities like the zoo, the Congaree National Park, Sesqui, Saluda Shoals, Elmwood Roy Lynch Park, right? Then it's going to educational, and then it's giving you fun things to do, right? And then what I love about this is giving you related questions that people are also asking about this. So it,
Because then we can tag our community partners in that area, saying, this is what you do, come here with us for 10 to 2, and then 2 to 5, we have something happening at the Fireflies, and
see what I'm saying? Right. All of this is research. So I love this because, again, it's giving you an answer. It's telling you the sources where those answers came from, perplexity.ai. This is free, by the way, so you can use this for free. There's a free version and a paid version. Most of these have that. And then it's giving you other related questions that people have. Are there any seasonal festivals in Southeast Columbia for families? Let's click on that. And again, it's giving you the answers, right? And the sources where it's coming from. Absolutely amazing, right? So this one really is like a search engine. And while you can use this for content and those kinds of things, I like this in general because, again, this is more to the gentleman's question, well, where is this information coming from? You have the sources right there for you to use it, okay? Let's see, let's use another business in the room, or a question that you may have. Yes?
Let's see, what are some STEM-related companies that work with children in the Midlands area?
So I'm telling it to act as a researcher, and what are some STEM-related companies that
Work with children, elementary age children within the Midlands area?
now when you put act as a researcher, is that critical? Do you act like a consumer, act like a mom, act like,
sometimes I do that to be able to drill down, and so it's not so ambiguous what I get, right? And so act as a researcher, and what are some STEM-related companies that work with elementary age children within the Midlands? Okay, let's see. Are you familiar with some of these folks? Mm-hmm. So you have community organizations, so it's giving you a list. Look at this, it's actually giving you also videos. Wow, I never even noticed that before. And then again, here are our sources. Right there. I've seen people use this to actually, if you're an influencer and you want to pitch someone and you need to get an email or find out the contact information, that's a great way to get this information as well, right? Who else? So you guys see how perplexity.ai works. And again, this is free. There is a paid option that you can use. One of the things that I love here too is with this one and ChatGPT, and I've actually done this. You see this attached file clip here? So one of the things that you can do is, say you have a document that's 50 pages, something that you worked on, maybe a dissertation. You can then attach it inside ChatGPT and then ask it to do a one-page summary. Right.
Is that with the free version, or you gotta, is that the upgraded version?
I think it works with the free version. I think it works for the free version. But you can upload anything from your Google Drive. You can also upload from your computer. So there are times where I've been online, and you've probably seen these, where people are just like, oh, use this prompt in ChatGPT, and you're just like, well, it's a long prompt. How am I going to get that? But they have it on the screen, so I'll take a screenshot of it, save it, put it in ChatGPT, and then ask ChatGPT to transcribe it. Transcribe it. What in the world? It's amazing. And speaking of transcribing, because I thought about Tony, so otter.ai is another one. Everybody familiar with otter.ai? Right? Love it, right? So Otter.ai is something that you can actually attach to your Zoom. How many people do a lot of Zoom calls? I'm like, yeah, zooming all the time. So you can attach Otter AI to your Zoom, and it will then record it, an audio record it, and provide a transcription. I know Zoom provides AI, but you know that's an additional cost. But here's why I specifically like AI, because we're talking about content creation, and you'll see what I did. So yesterday, what I did is I had a video that I wanted it to transcribe. So I uploaded it into Otter, the video. It provided me a transcription. There's a transcription of the video. So you see it's like a short 30-second video. I then copied and pasted this into ChatGPT and said, act as a social media content creator, write me a social media post for this video. And that video is now posted on LinkedIn with the content. So let me go back to my screen here. Using a platform like Otter AI, yeah, you can use it to transcribe, you can use it for all those other things, but I like to use it in my content creation process because now I can take that content, that's a video, right? And if I wanted to take that transcription and not just write a social media post, if I wanted to get fancy and say, hey, take this video and write me a blog post that's 500 words. It's like a jumping off point. Again, I don't totally copy and paste it. I still go back and read it and add things to it. But it's a jumping off point that you're not starting at zero. That's the thing about AI. This is giving us our time back. How many of you want your time back? Show of hands. Anybody want time back? I want time back. I don't want to be sitting here trying to figure out videos and all of these things. So now, out of that one 30-second video, you ready for this? I just got a social media post. I have a blog post now. I have a newsletter. So now I can say, hey, make this 1,500 words for my weekly newsletter. Out of something that was 30 seconds that I just put in Otter AI, had it transcribe it for me, take that, put it in ChatGPT, and now I just created 3 pieces of content. Like, I sometimes say to myself, I feel like I'm cheating, but this feels so good. This feels so good. All right. Another one that I want to show you is Opus Clip. I know Claudia loves this one. Opus Clip. It is totally AI generated. This one is going to, I think there may be a free version, but you're not going to be, yeah, it's free, but you're not going to get all the goodies. So Opus Clip is the gift that keeps on giving. So if you're a person who's creating long form videos, say on YouTube, or you're doing live stream, you then can take that video that you did that was 20 minutes, upload it in here, and it will create 5 to 10 short form videos for you. Edit it for you.
So I have a question. When it does that, is it segmenting out certain things that were captured?
Well, what you can do is, and let me go log into mine right quick.
Or I guess highlights of what was
So there's a couple of ways that you can use this. Let me go to my dashboard. 1 second here. So with Opus Clip, you can, that's my brand template. I should have had this window already up. Where is my folders? Asset library? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so with this in particular, Opus Clip, okay, you can then tell it what you want. So say I did a video and I'm talking about communication skills. When I upload my video, there's a little box that says keywords. So you can type in the box and say, use communication, look for personal development. And what it will do is AI will go through your video and look for those moments when you use those words. Or you can just leave it up to it to decide what were the best and the key moments. The thing that I like about this is, let me show you this in real time. It will rank the best moments out of your video. So it's already giving you, you see that title right there? It's already giving you the title. It gives you the transcript. Again, you can reuse that in ChatGPT, right? But it's also telling you when it comes to the hook, the flow, the value, and the trend, this is a 99 out of 100. So it's telling me that this is going to do well on social media. I didn't have to touch it. All I did was did the video, download the video, upload it in here, went and made a coffee, and in 5 to 10 minutes, it's already in my inbox edited. And these are all the videos it provided for me. And look at this, all these videos. And it starts to, you see how the rank is changing, right? So 85, 84. Then you can see here, you can publish it directly on social media. I can download it in HD. I can edit the clip if I want to. And the new thing is you can add B-roll. B-roll is bonus footage. So if I'm talking about AI, I can click on bonus footage and it will go through the video and it'll start to add like video on top of it. It also, you see, it already provides the captions for me. All of that's already done. So literally, I did a long form video, which is like 10 minutes or more. I downloaded it in here, and now I have this video that I can post on my other social media platforms without feeling stressed. I took the one video I did that was long, and now I'm reusing it for other things. And it already did the work for me. Yes, ma'am.
I have a quick question. So in terms of how you said it rates you in terms of hook all the way down to trend, what are the metrics that are used, though, so that you can say, well, hook contains this, or A rating, this. Do you know the metrics?
So what it's looking at, let me see. You can highlight over it. So what it's telling me is, you know, the hook is the thing that gets people to watch. Like, the number one thing you're doing wrong in your life right now. Y'all laughing, but some of y'all clicked on that video and watched. Oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong in my life right now? That's a hook, right? The point is to get you to stop your scroll and to watch. So what it's doing here is you can hover over it and it's telling the structure of this transcript is logical, beginning with a hook and maintaining a clear focus on captivating the audience from the start. To further improve, it may be beneficial to clearly summarize the WOW framework. Yeah, I was teaching about the WOW framework. At the end, by reinforcing the essential components and other. See, it's telling you why this works, right? And so then you're just like, okay, if this works, then I'm just gonna post it, right? But also, what it's also telling you is, it's also giving you insight. You know, one of the things I did on ChatGPT, and this is for people who are posting consistently, like you're creating consistent content. One of the things that I did on ChatGPT, and I just did this like a couple weeks ago, again, being curious, let me just see what happens. So all of us know that when you're on social media, from LinkedIn to Facebook, it will tell you what's been your most engaging post. Everybody ever seen that? Where it'll tell you, this post did really great for you, this did really well. But did you know that you can go into your social media and download your engagement for the past 30 days or the past year in a CSV file? Yeah. You can download your engagement as CSV file. So I said, I'm gonna play around with this, friend, and I'm gonna see what happens. So the last 30 days, I looked at my engagement on LinkedIn, and I said, okay, let me download it. Download it in a file. I uploaded it in ChatGPT and said, act as a market researcher. You know how much money I would have had to pay back in the day to get that information? Act as a market researcher. Tell me why these posts did so well the last 30 days. What are the commonalities? What are the trends? What are some of the things that you're seeing? It gave me all of this information. And now I'm able to wash, rinse, repeat, and write the same post over and over again because I already know what works with my audience. So now you can get it to do that kind of depth of research when you have put content out there, right? And when I say 30 days, I think that's the ground floor, right? This is not going to work for you if you just put like 7 days of content. But if you just like, you've been going at it for 30 days, you're like, okay, I got 30 days of work in here. I can kind of upload that and see what the trends are and what's working and what's not working and why this works. Much like what it's doing here. Okay? What do y'all think about what I've said so far? Oh my gosh, it's 12:52. Jesus. What do y'all think about what I've said so far? Don't want y'all to be overwhelmed. I want y'all to see these as tools that you can use at your fingertips. Okay, what do y'all think? Room, talk to me.
Very enlightening.
Okay, no, now listen. Actionable, great. Nobody feels overwhelmed. I will come from behind this podium. Don't play with me. Seriously, I don't want you to leave overwhelmed because that doesn't produce action. I want you to say, no, I have some prompts. I have some things to do because remember, next week we're coming back with our videos, right? And Claudia's going to help us go the next level with our videos. So I got some things I can do, and this is possible. I want you to see what's possible. You know, when you talk about the Gary V's of the world and Sean Cannell and all these guys that you may watch and Jasmine Star, this is the stuff they're doing. They're even firing some of their team. And they're just like, I have a friend of mine who is a wealth coach, and she makes repeatedly 6, 7, 8 figures. She fired her marketing team. She had a whole marketing company. She said, girl, I found out I can use ChatGPT for the stuff that they were writing. Girl, please, I fired all of them. And when she fired them, she made $300,000 off of her sales page. Again, I just want to show you what's possible. Okay? Question in the back.
Okay, my question was about the comments you made about what is, you said 30 days of posting.
Yeah.
Is that 30 days straight, like 30 days within a time? Like, how do you determine that?
Well, I mean, would I like you to post every day? That would be great. But I know sometimes people just don't have that capacity. So I would like to say, what can it show you that's a 30-day time period, right? Because you may not be able to go back 60 days. You're just like, okay, I posted twice this week, I posted 3 times this week. You know, just enough data that you can get something of substance out of it. And so that's why I say 30 days. Did that help you? Did I answer your question? How consistent are you posting consistently now? What does your consistency level look like?
When I feel like it or think about it. I'm being honest.
Okay, no, I appreciate that.
That's why I'm trying to get like a baseline. Because my brain works. If you tell me 30 days, I'm going to do it for 30 days.
Oh, is that how your brain works? Okay, then do it for 30 days straight. I just need to know who was in the room. So if your brain works like that, your challenge is to post for 30 days. Okay, good. That was great. The lady in the pink, you had a question? Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that question. And I just want to say thank you for being here. So I would say, well, before I say where to start, what's your business and what are you looking to achieve?
In my mind, I do. I'm a natural writer, and I think I've been chosen to create Christian content.
Okay.
So I've been working on stuff on my own with no, no ability, just doing it. I write everything, and I come up with ideas and stuff, but I don't do anything with it.
Yeah. Okay, so we got to start doing what we have, right? When we come up with the ideas, we have to start doing something with it. I would say maybe start with ChatGPT because that may be able to help you. I mean, you honestly even go into ChatGPT, and I've done this, and say, you know, I describe your life, describe your lifestyle, and then tell it, I want you to give me a content creation plan that I can use. Friend for 30 days. Okay? So what you're going to do is describe that, you know, I'm a Christian writer, I believe I'm called to this, but I also work a 9 to 5, you know, I got to watch my dog, you know, all of these things, right? You describe all the things, and then you say, give me a content plan that's doable. Because while we're talking about video, your jam might be the blog. Blogging is not dead. Yeah, blogging is a thing. So you might just be naturally bent to write. And even on social media, long posts do very well, right? People love to read a story, right? And so I think that would work well for you as well. Was that helpful? I would start with ChatGPT. You're welcome. I'm proud of you. Yes, ma'am.
For the video for next week, does it matter which type of platform you use to make the video? Or?
Well, Content Claudia is here. Claudia, what do you think?
For the videos that we're making, does it matter which platform? Is there a certain one that's better we should try to use?
So I'm a huge CapCut advocate. CapCut, just because it's really user friendly. A lot of the free features are really good. You don't necessarily need to pay for the pro. I stand by CapCut. It's almost as good as Premiere or even Final Cut.
CapCut, which I have on the screen here. This is going to be a lot of the videos that you all watch online that you see people using on TikTok, social. This is what they're using. It's very user friendly. It literally is put your video in here and it walks you through the steps of you want to put a caption here, you want to put this here, and it's like click, 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 click.
They also have templates. So you can choose the template that you want and then import the video clips or the picture clips in there and it'll create the video for you.
Well, that's why I was at, like, can I, like, do a Zoom, use that, like, for the video, and then put this, the same Zoom video into there?
Yeah. You can
Okay.
give, yeah, you can do any, and it doesn't matter how long it is either.
Okay.
It could be, the great thing about CapCut is it actually has a desktop version that gives you more freedom than the one on the phone or the iPad. So I would recommend for anything that has to do with Zoom and you want to add that into your video, I would say get the desktop version so that way you have more power to do what you need to do
Okay.
with it.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Questions here on the front? Yes.
I have a statement, because I know you were mentioning to her in terms of doing the posting 30 days, but as we all are busy folks, I normally, a couple of sites online mention maybe just posting once a week for engagement. Because it also gives you time, because remember, you gotta put a lot of time into creating that too. So taking a little bit off of yourself, you mean considering doing it once a week. And once you get the active hang of it, maybe the frequency, but I post maybe once a week, and it just, because it frees me up, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It stays on my brain if I had to do it every day. Just me.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
To piggyback off of what she said, social media platforms are looking for consistency, right? So let's
Yeah.
say realistically, you're able to only post 3 times a week, right? If you stay consistent on the time and the day that you're posting those 3 times a week, then it's the algorithm is going to catch on to that and start pushing your stuff out there. So yes, it's recommended to post every single day, 3 times a day, because you get to get more visibility
Yeah.
and everything like that. But the reality of it is, if you're consistent and you're posting on those same days, you can still get the same results. It might just take you a little bit longer to get there, but the consistency is what matters the most.
And then also, I just want to also put here, a lot of these programs and also your social platforms have automation. So I'm not ever really posting in real time. A lot of these are scheduled posts that I just know the time that my people engage, and you're able to schedule it and just forget it. So that can be your best friend as well. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question about that. If you're consistently posting, how different do your content have to be?
You know, I think it goes back to what is it that you enjoy posting? I know back in the day we used to tell people, you got to post a reel, and you'll meet a bunch of people who will tell you that online. I am of the thought of what is it that you enjoy posting? For me, I enjoy video. That's easy for me to do because of my background working in television. But for you, it might be, you know, I can do one video because that might be a lot for you to do it. But man, I'm telling you, I enjoy writing. So I always say, do what makes you feel happy and what you enjoy doing, because the people who are engaging with your content will understand and realize you enjoy doing this, right? Like you get a kick out of this, and then you're going to come back and see more of you doing that. I think we get stressed out when we're trying to meet everybody's goals of I got to do a reel, I got to do a TikTok, I got to do this, and it just becomes so overwhelming because then you end up hating to do it. Make sense? Yes.
A question about consistency. So when you're posting across different platforms, do you post the exact same content from one platform to the next, or is it different? Is it
I do. You know, back in the day, I didn't, but we didn't have all these platforms before. So for me, I think I may post the same picture sometimes, but I may not. It'll be the essence of the same post, but it might be a different call to action, or there might be a different tip. But it's essentially the same content. Claudia, what do you think?
Most people, they do post the same content across every platform, but you're going to notice, and don't be discouraged, that a reel that you might have posted on Instagram might have got 2 likes, then you posted that same reel on TikTok and got 25 likes, you know, because every platform, the audience is slightly different. So I would recommend Find out what your audience likes, like monitor your growth and your visibility and everything. Figure out what your audience likes in each platform, and then make the adjustment. Right now, just worry about the consistency.
That's good. Yeah. Just worry about, I'm just showing up. Like, I'm just, remember what I told y'all last week? We just going to take messy action. I'm just going to show up and do it messy, and then we'll adjust and beautify it after we get through the messy action. But right now, my focus is I just got to show up first. Okay? I know that we went a little bit over. I want to remind you all, please make sure to grab a handout if you haven't already. This is class number 2, but we still have 3 more classes left, all right? 3 more sessions left. So next week, Claudia will be back talking about content creation made simple, how to edit your video like a pro. Diane, did you have some?
I did about next week's class. We're also going to have a brief visit from Mary Kate Sullivan, who is the studio services manager on Second. She's going to share information because you may or may not know that the library has an editing lab, and we also have a green room. So she's going to share some information. And the other thing, Rashonda asked me to bring back all of the handouts from the first session. They're on the front table. Please help yourselves to anything up there. And we thank you all for coming today. Don't forget the evaluation. Just leave it on the center of the table when you're finished. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.